Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am TP and Rainmaker, and in this video I'm going to show you 15 things that you need to know before buying a Porsche 997. Let's do business. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all having a great summer. My summer's gone pretty okay. Nice weather here in the UK at the moment. It's very changeable though. This video is really born out of a lot of questions I've had from potential owners. You know, people who've watched the videos, who follow me on Instagram, and they ask me a lot of questions. So I've kind of put together a list of the top 15 questions. So I want to start by telling you about the car that I'm driving now. This is my personal 997. It's a 2006 997 Carrera 4S. Has a manual gearbox, 355 brake horsepower, and it's finished in this lovely speed yellow. Oh, if you haven't already, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you don't miss a single thing. You can also follow TPN Rainmaker on Instagram and on Facebook. Let's pop my sunglasses on. It's a little bit sunny here today. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is the prices of these cars. The base price when released for the 997 Carrera, a bog standard Carrera that is, was £59,070, and that went up to £76,880. Now that depends on which variant you go for. Doesn't include the GT3s or the turbos. The turbo started at £97,000. The GT3 started at £79,500, which when you think about it now seems pretty much like a bargain. And fast forward to 2020, 2021, you can buy a bog standard Carrera for around about £17,000. It may well need some TLC though. I'd recommend paying in the low 20s to mid 20s. That's £1,000 that is for a decent car. For the turbos, well, prices are starting at around about £40,000. That's for a Gen 1. And for the GT3, you're looking at about coming in at £70,000, which is a fantastic car for the money. It really is. So you may notice that some of the 997s do look a little bit different, and that's because in 2009 the 997 was facelifted for the 2009 model year. This is commonly known as the 997.2 and benefited from a number of upgrades, which included a new engine with direct fuel injection, revised suspension, revised front and rear bumpers, daytime running lights, revised wing mirrors, redesigned sports exhaust, redesigned PCM system, and the TIPTRONIC was replaced by the newer, better and faster PDK box. Now no doubt if you've been looking at 911s, you're probably looking at other cars as well. So what should you be looking at? What are the competitors to the 911 997? Well, it's subjective. I would personally say that the competitors are the Aston Martin Vantage, the Audi R8, the BMW M4, the Jaguar F-Type, Honda NSX, and in America you can easily add the Chevrolet Corvette. And I guess you could also include the 996 and the 991 911 at either end of the scale. Okay, so again, this is why some of the 997s will look different to other 997s, because some of them left the factory with what's called an AEROKIT. An AEROKIT is a factory option which is designed to make the car basically look like a bit of a GT3. Not exactly, but the style of the car makes it look just that little bit sportier. You'll get a redesigned front bumper, you'll get additional side skirts on the side, and you also obviously get the picnic table wing on the back of the car. If you're willing to get your hands a little bit dirty, then I would say absolutely yes. The 997 is quite easy to work on. All of the serviceable parts like the ignition coils, the spark plugs, the oil filters, the oil top-up locations, they are relatively easy to access. Sometimes you might need to put a bit of extra work in to get access to the spark plugs and the ignition coils, but ultimately if you were to get the car in the air, then I see no reason why you couldn't change these parts yourself. And even if you've got a dashboard warning light like an airbag, an ABS or a check engine light, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to take it to a specialist or a main dealer. What I would recommend doing is picking up the iCarSoft POR version 1.0 kit. I'll put the link to that kit in the description below this video, but ultimately this kit is going to put power in your own hands. It's going to allow you to diagnose your own faults, covers all of the main systems, engines, airbags, ABS, transmission, PSM, does the oil service resets as well. So that if you're looking at a 997 and you want to look after your car, I would highly recommend the POR version 1.0. Like I say, I'll put a link in the description below this video. It is true that the 997 does have some common problems, and I would probably say that out of the 997.1 and the 997.2, the 997.2 is more or less a problem-free car. That's not to say you won't get problems with it, but all of the problems that the 997.1 has have been corrected in the 997.2. So if you were to look into the 997.1 in greater detail, you'd probably find issues with the bore scoring, you'd probably find issues with the IMS bearing, and also the shifter cable snapping. Do your homework, look into these problems in greater detail. If you're looking to buy a car, get a PPI done, but don't let it ruin your life. A lot of these problems have been blown way out of proportion through the likes of Facebook groups and forums. Don't let it ruin your life, because they are, as I say, they're blown way out of proportion. But they do still exist, so it's definitely worth taking note of. Now, I mean this with the greatest of respect, and I would sincerely hope that none of you guys are actually looking at buying a 997 and are really worried about the MPG or the fuel consumption on these cars. These cars, they are built to put your foot down. It's got a thumbs up off some guy there. They are built to have fun in. You get your enjoyment out of these cars by putting your foot down on them. But if you really must know, the official data states that driving around town, you'll probably get around about 16 miles per gallon. If you're driving it properly in the real world, I would probably say it's more likely to be about 12. That's not to say that you can't daily drive these cars, because you can be fuel efficient with them. But if you're going to be fuel efficient with one of these cars, then why not just go and buy an Audi A4 or a Ford Focus, something like that, to do your daily driving in, and use these cars like they're designed to be used. You know, putting your foot down on the twisty roads, on the tracks even, you'll have so much more fun in them. Storage on these cars isn't all bad. It's not fantastic, but it's not bad. I managed to drive around Europe, and I managed to put in the car everything I needed, you know, all of my clothes, all of my camera equipment, everything that I needed for a full week of driving in foreign countries. I managed to put in the front of the car and also on the back seats of the car. So I would say for one person, you'll probably get away with that, no problem. If there are two of you, you might struggle a bit. It's not going to be a problem if you're going away for a weekend and you've got two people, but longer trips you may well struggle. A quick reminder, guys, if you haven't already, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you don't miss a single thing. Now, this question really depends on the individual. Is it comfortable to drive, easy to get in and out of? Well, I'm 5'10". I find it very easy to get in and out of. I find the driving positions very comfortable. I'm not touching the roof with my head. You know, if you're over 6 foot, then that might be a little bit different. I'm fit, I'm healthy. Well, I like to think I'm fit and healthy. So access to the car is very easy for me. If you're overweight, or you know, you've got health problems like back issues, leg issues, then you may find it a little bit uncomfortable if you're driving on a daily basis. Not so bad if you're only driving it every weekend. The only way you'll really find out is if you just go and sit in one, try getting in and out of it a few times in quick succession, and that will ultimately probably give you the answer as to whether it's going to be accessible enough for you. When it comes to sitting and driving the car, yeah, I think it's absolutely fine. I've done many hours in this car. A little bit of a backache, but that stems from an old car crash that I had about 15 years ago. Pop a few pills and I'm right as rain. I got a drawer full of SD cards in my office, but the SD card I was recording on ran out, so I had to go out and pick another one up. 30 quid. Anyway, is the car good for track days? Hell yes, the car is good for track days. If you haven't driven your 997 on the track yet, why not? If you haven't bought your 997 yet, the first thing you should do when you buy your 997 is take it to the track. These cars are built for the track. Fantastic track cars. Doesn't matter whether it's an S, a 2, a 4S, a 4, it really doesn't matter. Either way, you're going to have bags of fun on the track with these cars. You may see a lot of Instagram posts and YouTube and Facebook posts with cars on air suspension. These cars do not leave the factory. No 997 left the factory with air suspension. Any air suspension car you see has been fitted with an aftermarket air suspension kit. Well, you know, this is a never-ending question. There's no right or wrong answer, and there never will be. 3 choices. You've got a manual gearbox, you've got a PDK gearbox, and you've got a TIPTRONIC gearbox. Manual is obviously clutch in, shift the gears yourself. PDK is actually a manual gearbox as well, with the capability of doing automatic transmission, and the TIPTRONIC is actually automatic gearbox with the ability to do manual shifts via buttons on the steering wheel. The manual car is always going to be more engaging. It is always my choice. If you wanted to go for an automatic though, then the PDK is the better of the two. The TIPTRONIC is just that little bit slower at changing gears. The PDK is really fast at shifting gears, but you'll only find the PDK in the 997.2 facelift model. So what do I personally love about this car? Well, for me, this car at the same time is a drug and a therapy. You know, different things push different people's buttons, different things get different people's hearts going and the blood racing. But for me, driving a car like this is what calms me down. It's pretty close to a pure driving experience. Yes, we have got some electronic systems in there. It's not as pure as, you know, say like a 964 or a 993, but for me, it does the job exactly how I need it to. I suppose it allows me to forget about the everyday worries and everyday stresses. And I know it's only a car, but I do honestly feel that it is a mental healer. It pushes all of my buttons, and I know when I get in the driver's seat of this car and I turn the key that I'm instantly going to be transported to my happy place. So I'm about to go over the iconic Tyne Bridge here in Newcastle upon Tyne, which brings me to the next question, which has nothing to do with the bridge in fact. Will I sell you my 911? The answer is no. I've had many requests, many emails saying, you know, it may just be a passive email, but if you ever sell it, please consider me. Unfortunately, for anybody who wants to buy it, this is a car that I hope to keep forever. I hope to be a little old man driving this car. I want to be able to share the experience of this car with my kids, with my grandkids, and I hope that I can physically and, you know, in health and financially be able to do that. So I hope you found this video useful, guys. If you have, I'd really appreciate it if you can hit that like button, and if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you don't miss a single thing. In summary, you know, the 997 is a fantastic sports car, represents great value, great enjoyment, and you seriously will not regret buying one of these cars if it's something that you are looking to do. But as I say, I do hope that this video has maybe helped somebody in picking up this car. I'm the Rainmaker, and I'll see you on the next episode on this YouTube channel.